Hello everyone, thank you for tuning into my channel. So, Brandon Sanderson, who is he? For those of you who may not know, he is a madman who has written 30 plus novels, short stories, and novellas. At least I think it's 30 plus. Don't quote me on that. So, the Cosmere. I am sure some people out there, especially those not familiar with Brandon's works, are thinking, well shucks, what is this Cosmere I keep hearing about? Well, I'm here to help you. In short, the Cosmere is Brandon's interconnected universe between most of his books, such as Elantris, Mistborn, the Stormlight Archives, the Secret Projects, Warbreaker, you name it. And all these aforementioned books take place in the same galaxy, where there are things called shards, which are pretty much the gods' universe. Now, the shards, of which there are 16 of them, come from a being called Adenosium, which was shattered several thousand years ago. Now, we don't know much about the shattering, only that he was shattered, and that Hoid, who we won't go into much detail about, but who pops up several times throughout the Cosmere, was there for. Now, outside of that, people might be curious and thinking, okay, where do I start in this Cosmere? Of which, I will say, this might be an unpopular opinion, I truly don't think it matters, because you can really start with any of the books. Of course, the first ones. You don't want to start with Mistborn Era 2, and for Stormlight Archives, you obviously want to go with the Way of Kings first. However, outside of that, there are a couple areas that might be better for new readers or for people who haven't read the Cosmere books and are just curious. So, first of all, let me introduce you to the Stormlight Archives, perhaps Brandon's most well-known books. It is a work of epic fantasy that currently has 4 out of 10 novels. The 5th one is coming out this December, Winds of Truth, which I'm super excited and hyped for. Please let me know your crazy theories for that below, or if you're going to read it. However, I will say it can be hard to get into. By that I mean, if you're a newer reader to fantasy or aren't used to reading epic fantasy, there is a lot of information thrown right at you. And the Way of Kings has 3 full starts. By that I mean 2 prologues, I guess a preface, then a prologue, and then chapter 1 is from a different character's point of view you never see again. Again, it's a great book series. I love the characters such as Kaladin, Syl, Dalinar, Shallan, Adolin, Renarin, Yasna, and so much more. If you do start with Stormlight, just be prepared for how epic and grand these novels are, and the complexities between the multiple characters and the in-depth look at mental illness, and of which Brandon does an excellent job of showcasing. However, some people might be thinking, okay, cool, epic fantasy, but the Stormlight Archives, each book in them is about 1,000 pages long. That's a lot to get into, especially for a book series that isn't complete yet. Well, in that case, we have Mistborn. Now, Mistborn is Brandon's first trilogy, at least, yeah, it came right after Elantris. Anyway, Mistborn takes place in the planet of Scadrial in a setting with the big dark evil Lord 1. Similar to Stormlight, you'll probably be hearing a lot of this. It has a great cast of characters such as Sazed, Ven, Kelsier, Tensoon, and so many others, especially Tensoon. I love Tensoon. He's a cool guy. Also, another plus, Mistborn has my favorite magic in the Cosmere, Fur Kremi. Yes, I prefer Fur Kremi over Allomancy. Bite me. However, I will say with Mistborn, Era 1 does have some prose issues. It's still a good series. Just be prepared it doesn't have the greatest prose. As for Era 2, I prefer Era 1. But once you finish Era 1, I'd still recommend Era 2. Now, those are the series in the Cosmere. But I'm sure some people are thinking, okay, cool, sounds interesting. But what if I don't want to get into a series? What if I prefer to start a standalone novel and not get invested in more? Well, let me introduce you to Warbreaker. Perhaps my favorite, second favorite, okay, possibly third favorite, it depends, of Brandon's standalones. Warbreaker takes place on the planet Nalthis, and I know I sound like a repeating record, but it has cool characters such as Ven's Mistborn, Ciri, Vivienne, Vivenna, not Vivienne. Anyway, those two, and both of which are sisters, and I love how their arcs kind of reflect and foil each other. Alongside those two, there's Light Song, Flesh Lever, Susebron, and my personal favorite, Nightblood. Yes, I know Nightblood's a talking sword. I don't care. He's still pretty cool. I will warn you though, while Warbreaker is a great novel, the ending of it is meh, not that great. The last chapter is fun, but the last couple of pages, kind of a downer in my opinion. However, there's Warbreaker, great book. Let's get on to the secret projects, of which there are 4. Well, technically 5, but Brandon is still working on the 5th one at the time of this recording, and one of them is not in the Cosmere, so let's ignore that one for now. Of the 3 secret projects, there is Tress of the Emerald Sea, Yumi and the Nightmare Painter, and the Sunlit Man. For people new to the Cosmere, I would definitely recommend Tress. Why? Because of the 3, I think it is the least Cosmere aware. Yes, there is stuff in other books. Yes, there is stuff from other books in it, but Sunlit and Yumi might have some new readers scratching their heads. But I don't know. If you were new to if you read Yumi and Sunlit before you read any other books in the Cosmere, please let me know. I would love to hear your thoughts. However, Yumi, what isn't there to love about it? It's fun, cozy fantasy with a talking rat named Huck. Next we have Elantris, Brandon's first published novel. It's alright. Not a terrible book, but definitely not one of his better ones. Similar to Mistborn, it has prose issues, but I don't necessarily want to say worse, because it is still a good book. But yeah, there are definitely prose issues in Elantris, and I don't mean Brandon's simple writing. Well, I don't mean that Brandon doesn't use complex words, which I like how he keeps his books a little bit simpler in the prose and accessible to everyone. I just mean I don't think the prose of Elantris is that great. Well, as a reader, I don't care much about prose. Yes, I know that's probably heresy, but I would still say it is noticeable here. And also the characters, for the most part, they're your standard fantasy characters. Not bad by any means, but nothing to write home about. I will say, Elantris was still fun, and if you do start there, do know that all of Brandon's other books, at least in my opinion, are better. I hope I don't come across too harsh, because Elantris is still a fun book to read. Just maybe start with Warbreaker or Tress or Mistborn or somewhere else. Or for the shorter works, the novellas, Emperor's Soul, great fun little novella, and in my opinion, the best of Sanderson's novellas. I read The 11th Metal, not great, but I love The Emperor's Soul. Okay, there. My short little introduction into the Cosmere and the novels. Please let me know if you have read the Cosmere and which book you started with. Let me know if you plan to read them, and I would love to hear your thoughts and comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and y'all have a good day.